Hello, this is Talamir and welcome to another repair video. In this video, we are looking at this A15, the Samsung Galaxy A15, and this phone has a very, very bizarre issue. Now I'm going to need to blur the picture because the customer is there, but as you can clearly see, the screen is on, but my finger is not having any reaction with the screen. This is very bizarre. So, in order to rectify this issue, it's two possible ways to figure it out. One is there's a possibility there's some sort of disconnection with the cable that connects to the screen. The other possibility is that the screen has a fault. So we're going to pop this open and just take a look inside and see what's going on. To do that, we've got to apply some heat. So this bit here is glued down to a frame where you got screws behind it. And we got to get the back part off first in order to get into the next bit. This back is just made out of plastic. It's pretty easy to get out. Okay, that's about as much as I can do right now. To get this up, you can either use a razor blade or a very thin piece of metal. Works great too. I think the blade itself should be enough. I prefer the piece of metal because it's just super thin. It's this little guy right here. It works incredibly well. After once you get it in, you just take a plastic card, pull out this. You don't need that in for very long. You're just trying to get a little bit of an edge in there, and then you can cut through the adhesive. Lots of alcohol to get it going. If you have a lot of resistance, it's not a big deal with the plastic one, but with the glass versions of the back covers, you really should pull off and then add some more heat. In general, I heated up the top here so it came loose very quickly, but the rest is not so hot. So I got to heat that up, make this a little bit easier to get through. Just makes it a little bit less likely that I'm going to warp the plastic. Just looking for just like barely hot to the touch. It's feeling like that right now. Once you got it in there, more alcohol. Dribble it onto the card itself. Works a little bit better than dribbling it onto the frame. See how easy that went through it? There we go. That's off. There seems to be a piece of adhesive right in the center. I'm going to try to dribble some alcohol down the card itself to get to it. There we go. Nice. Let's see what's going on in here. Standard 000 pH Phillips screws. I'm going to have to take out all of the screws in order to get to the next part of this. So that's all of these and all of these. It's all one bit, all one frame. And this is both the frame and the shield. There we are. At this point, you can just get your nail along here. Usually the best areas to work at is right around the buttons. And just get underneath there. And you can start pulling the frame away. Now, if your nails aren't long enough, you can always use one of these little guys. It's a little pry tool. They work really great for, well, prying. You just want to slip it underneath, and then you just go along the edges, and it should pop right up. You want to take out the SIM tray. I can't believe I forgot to do that. If you don't take the SIM tray out, you'll have a lot of difficulties. It's interesting. I didn't find there was no SIM card inside. Not the biggest deal in the world. Just find it odd that the customer didn't have their SIM card in. There we go. That's out. Now you just notice right here, this button right here is connected by a little tiny ribbon cable. So be careful when you're taking this out. Top is not disconnected. I was expecting it to disconnect, and it's not. Oh, that's interesting. There's two screws right here that are covered. I've worked on an A15 before, and I didn't notice this. This is new to me. So I had to take that lens cover off, and we got two more screws. Usually they're not set up like this. Usually it comes up with the lenses and they don't hide screws. I'm not sure why they did that, but the A15, the version lower, the 4G version, doesn't have it like this. Now the whole thing should just come off pretty easily. There we go. You see that button? So you're being careful before you pull this away completely. So what do we see? I'm seeing immediately this board is loose. Now this connects the screen right here. And what I'm wondering about is whether or not one of these has come away from the board. One of these connectors just floats. So let's disconnect these. See what's going on underneath. I don't see any problems. Nothing immediately visible. Usually this little connector here is glued down. Find it interesting that it is not glued down. Also, this board is usually, to some degree, it's got a little bit of adhesive holding it down as well. And it's the same with that one, it's not. I don't see any problems with it visually speaking. It looks fine. To me, this looks like it's been worked on before. I'm going to take a look at this underneath the microscope, just in case, just taking a look at those connectors. Let's take a look first at the connector, the cable itself, the cable connector. A little bit more. There we go. Do we see any problems here? Any cracks? Any damage? I don't see anything particular. I'm just going to give the cable a good once over. So I saw no visual problems with the cable itself. Now looking at the other connector for this side of the cable, to me it does look like this phone has been worked on before, simply because of how the foam around this looks. It shouldn't be pulled up like this. It should be flat. What am I seeing there? That's a crack. This right here is cracked. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. That's a first for me. So that alone would have caused, I think, the problem. It's all along here. It's cracked here, it's cracked here, cracked here. How about the other one? How's this one? This one's fine. Okay, now let's take a look at the side where it's connecting. Okay, so this is where it's connecting, which makes sense. This one is specifically the cable. This is the connector for the screen itself. So if there's pins that are connecting but not connecting, you'd have problems here and there with the with the screen, depending on what pins were busted. But in this occasion, the ones that are disconnecting are the ones relating to the digitizer. I'm trying to hold it down. This isn't working so well. Let me get another pair of tweezers and I can hold this down. So once again, what I'm looking for is damage. I think the screen's fine. I don't see any issues with the connector itself. It looks perfectly fine. Our issue really comes down to just this ribbon cable. This ribbon cable is faulty. Look at that crack all the way along there. I wonder how that could have happened. Yeah, there it is right there. It's truly busted. I couldn't imagine how this could have happened. Well, the part just arrived. There it is in all its glory. So I will be taking out this stuff now, get it all set up, and let's get it installed. Now, part of the reason why it tore in the first place has to do with the installation of this little cable right here. I don't think that it was installed correctly. So let's make sure it's installed correctly. I'm going to take a little strip of adhesive. I'm going to cut it to form. Doesn't need to be giant. And we're going to put it on the back of there so that this doesn't tear in the future. Use some tweezers to put that in place. I'm going to stick it on the... yeah, right here. That should do it. I'm just theorizing that this is the cause, that it tore because there was no adhesive underneath there. There is supposed to be adhesive connecting this cable to the board. It's not supposed to be just freely floating around in there. Okay, hopefully that does the trick. The board itself is still floating around a little bit, but that should be fine. Sometimes they glue them down, but I don't see really space to glue them down. I shouldn't say glue. Using adhesive is what I mean. Here we are. If you do a little bit of a comparison, here is the one that I know is the new one because it's got the little shiny piece on it, the little shiny tag that shows that it is, it probably is an aftermarket part. Not always though. So you can see this one right here. I can even see it from here that there is a crack in it. This one, and you're comparing it to this one. See? It's hard to tell, but there's definitely something going on with it. Yeah. Let's put it on in. Now in my videos, I do use lots of tools and all sorts of different supplies, such as these cards, and like my iFixit kit, and even my microscope that I do have Amazon affiliate links for. So if you need any of that supplies there, I do have Amazon affiliate links in the video description. So if you find them down there and use those links, I do make a small commission, like a really tiny commission, off of those links when you use them. That's good and connected in now. We still need to test this, but for now, let's just get the button pushed in there so that we can test. So I'm not putting it back together just yet. I got it somewhat snapped into the frame on that one side. Just looking for the phone to turn on. Good. And then I'm going to show you the emergency call area just to show you that the digitizer is now working. Well, we got a ping. We've got the pin going up there, so that's great. The touch is working. I don't want to lock the phone up. Let's go into the emergency section. You can see clearly there that it's working. I can't turn up the volume right now, but there you go. It's amazing what just a tiny crack in an FPC connector can do to a phone. Oh, all right. Let's get the rest of this phone back together. It's just a matter of getting this all snapped back into place. The shield itself is the frame, so just turn the screen off, and then we're going to push this all back together. And remember also that the lens goes in afterwards. It's nice if you can spread them out. If you're using the any of these magnetic screwdrivers, you're just looking to pick up one screw at a time, and it really helps to space them out. Otherwise, you just get a whole bunch of them all on your tip at once when you don't really want that. All right, we got all the screws in. I just got to throw that lens back in. It clips in from the right side, so you put it in that side first, and then you can, pretty sure it does, or maybe it's the left side? Maybe it's the left side first. Maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, just like that. Put your SIM tray back in. There we are. Now, I'm doing this on the cheap for the customer, so that means, once again, we're thinking about the adhesive. If the adhesive is too bad anyways, I've lost out because I'll have to remake the adhesive. But it looks really clean. It pulled very well. I don't see any damage to the adhesive. Looks great. I'm going to run an alcohol soaked cotton swab around the edges because I see a little bit of dirt around the edges there, and I just want to get that out. Make sure you got a good seal from the old adhesive. Let's get that in. Very nice. Okay, let's give it just a quick clean, front and back. Shine it all up, nice. Don't need to do this, but it sure makes it look nice. See? Look at that. Same with the back. And that's it. It is all done and dusted, cleaned up nice, fixed that problem with that digitizer. So if you guys liked the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.